For more videos and update, please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for more videos and update. The 2020 China-India skirmishes are part of an ongoing military standoff between China and India. Since 5 May 2020, Chinese and Indian troops have reportedly engaged in aggressive melee face-offs and skirmishes at locations along the Sino-Indian border, including near the disputed Pangong Lake in Ladakh and the Tibet Autonomous Region, and near the border between the Sikkim and the Tibet Autonomous Region. Additionally, clashes are ongoing at locations in eastern Ladakh along the line of actual control that has persisted since the 1962 Sino-Indian War. In late May, Chinese forces objected to Indian road construction in the Galwan River Valley. According to the Indian sources, melee fighting on 15-16 June 2020 resulted in the death of 20 Indian soldiers, including an officer, and casualties among 43 Chinese soldiers, including the death of an officer. Several news outlets stated that 10 Indian soldiers, including 4 officers, were taken captive and then released by the Chinese on 18 June. Amid the standoff, India reinforced the region with 12,000 additional workers who would help with completing the development of Indian infrastructure. The first train with our 1,600 workers left Jharkhand on 14 June 2020 for Uttar Pradesh, from where they would go on the Assist India's Border Roads Organization at the Sino-Indian border. Experts have postulated that the standoff are Chinese preemptive measures in the responding to the Darbuk-Sinok DBO road infrastructure project in Ladakh. The Chinese have also extensively developed their infrastructure in these disputed border region. Another reason in China's territory grabbing techniques, also referred to as a salami snitching, which involves encroaching upon small parts of the enemy territory over a large period of time. The revocation of the special status of Jammu and Kashmir in August 2019 by the Indian government has also troubled the Chinese. However, India and China have both maintained that there are enough bilateral mechanisms to resolve the situation through quiet diplomacy. Following the Galwan Valley skirmish on 15 June, numerous Indian government officials said that border tension will not impact trade between India and China, despite some Indian companies about boycotting Chinese products. However, in the following days, various types of action were taken on the economic front, including cancellation and additional scrutiny of certain contracts with Chinese firms, and calls were also made to stop the entire entry of the Chinese into strategic market in India, such as the telecom sector. Much of this was protest restricted to publicity stunts and social media appeals. China has land and water dispute with Bhutan, Taiwan, Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam, North Korea, South Korea, Japan, and Nepal. The border between China and India is disputed at 20 different locations. Since the 1980s, there have been over 20 rounds of talks between the two countries related to these border issues. A study by the Observer Research Foundation points out that only 1 to 2% of the border incidents between 2010 to 2014 received any form of media coverage. In 2019, India reported over 660 LAC violation and 108 aerial violation by the People's Liberation Army, which were significantly higher than the number of incidents in 2018. There is no publicly available map depicting the Indian version of the LAC, and the survey of Indian maps are the only evidence of the official border of India. The Chinese version of LAC mostly consists of claims in the Ladakh region, but China also claimed Arunachal Pradesh in northeast India. In 2013, India diplomatic Siam Saran claimed that India had lost 640 km 247 square mile due to the area denial by Chinese patrolling, but he later retracted his claim about any loss of territory to Chinese incursion. Despite the dispute, skirmishes and standoffs, no incidents of the gunshot being fired has been reported between the two countries along the border for over 50 years. During Chinese paramount leader Xi Jinping visited New Delhi in September 2014, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi discussed the boundary question and urged for a solution. Modi also argued that the clarification of the border issue would help the two countries to realize the potential of our relation. However, in 2017, China and India got into a major standoff in Doklam that lasted 73 days. China has since increased its military presence in the Tibet Plateau, bringing in Type 15 tanks, Harbin Z-20 helicopters, Sea Wing Long 2 UAVs, and PCL-181 self-propelled howitzer. China also standing new Xiang G-16 J-11 fighter jets at the Nagari Gunsa Airport, which is 200 kilometers 1 to 4 miles from Pangong Tso. Ladakh, China has also been increased its footprint with India's neighbors Nepal, Sri Lanka and Pakistan. So, from India having a monopoly in the region, China is now posing a direct challenge to New Delhi's influence in South Asia. Multiple reasons have been cited as the trigger for these skirmishes. One reason stated by the American Observer in Chinese land grabbing involving encroaching upon small parts of the enemy territory over a large period, a tactic also referred to as salami sledging. In the mid-June 2020, Bharatiya Janata Party councillor Hiragen Chaudhan from Nayom, Ladakh stated that successive Indian government, including the current Narendra Modi government, have neglected the border areas for decades and turned a blind eye to Chinese land grabbing in the region. According to her, India has failed miserably in the protection of its border, and even this year all along the LAC, India has lost land, with her family having lost grazing land to the Chinese in Koyao. MIT professor Taylor Faryal said that the skirmishes were a response from China to the development of Indian infrastructure in Ladakh, particularly in Darbuk-Sayok DBO road. He added that it was a show of strength for China amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, which had damaged the Chinese economy and its international reputation. Lapsang Sangye, president of the Tibetan government in exile, stated that China is raising border issues due to internal problems within China and the international pressure being exerted on China over COVID-19. Jayadev Ranade, president of the Center for China Analysis and Strategy and former National Security Advisor board member, posted that China's current aggression in the region is due to protect its assets and future plans in Ladakh and adjoining regions such as China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. As such, Chinese troops are not going to withdraw. Wang Shida of Chinese Institute of Contemporary International Relations linked the current border tension to India's decision to abrogate Article 370 and change the status of Jammu and Kashmir in 2019. Although Parveen Shawne agreed with the Wang, he postulated that a parliamentary speech by the Amit Shah also could have irked the Chinese. In the speech, Shah had declared that the Akasi chain was part of the Ladakh Union Territory. Furthermore, the beatification of Jammu and Kashmir in 2019 promoted multiple senior Bharatiya Janata Party minister, most recently in May 2020, to claim that all that now remained was China to regain Gilgit-Baltistan. India diplomatic Gautam Bambewala also stated that New Delhi's moves in August 2019 related to the Jammu and Kashmir arcade Beijing. In 2014, Rajnath Singh, the Then Home Minister of India, the Defence Minister during the 2020 skirmishes had said that China has illegally occupied Agassi Chain in Ladakh. Indian former ambassador to China Ashok Kantha said that these skirmishes were part of the growing Chinese assertiveness in both the Indo-China border and the South China Sea. Indian diplomatic Panchok Stubdan pointed to the occurrence of a larger strategic shift and that India should be alert. Retired Indian Army Lieutenant General Syed Ata Hussain said that the skirmishes were post-COVID-19 strategy message for China to its neighbor, which would make India prioritize the Himalayan sector over the maritime Indian Ocean region, a more vulnerable area for the Chinese. Raja Mohan, director of the Institute Southern Asian Studies at the National University of Singapore, writes that the growing power imbalance between China and India in the main cause of the dispute, with the everything else such as the location of the dispute of international ties of India being mere detail. These skirmishes have also been linked with the Chinese strategy of Five Fingers of Tibet by Adhir Rajan Chaudhary, leader of the principal opposition party Indian National Congress in the Lok Sabha. Shishandri Chari, former head of the foreign affairs cell of the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, and Lobsang Sangye, leader of the Central Tibetan administration. Pangong Tasu. On 5 May, the first standoff began as a clash between the India and Chinese soldiers at a beach of Pangong Tasu, a lake shared between India and Tibet, China, with the line of actual control passing through it. A video showed soldiers from the both nations engaging in fist fighting and stone pelting along the LAC. On 10 to 11 May, another crash took place. A number of soldiers on both sides had sustained injuries. Indian media reported that around 72 Indian soldiers were injured in the confrontation at the Pangong Tasu, and some had to be flown to hospital in Leh, Chandi Mandir and the Delhi. According to the Delhi Telegraph and other sources, China captured 60 square kilometers of Indian patrol territory between May and June 2020. After the clash, several Chinese military helicopters were spotted flying near the Indian border on at least 2 occasions. India deployed several Sukhoi Su-30 MKI jets to the areas. Reported that Chinese helicopters had reportedly violated Indian airspace were denied by the Indian government. There were reports of Chinese soldiers approaching Indian soldiers with the improvised weaponry of barbed wire sticks. By 27 June, the Chinese were reported to have increased military presence on both of the northern and southern banks of the Pangong Tasu, strengthened their position near Finger 4, contrary to what the status quo was in April, and had even started construction of an helipad, bunker and pillboxes. Sikkim. According to the Indian media reports, on 10 May, a spat began with the Chinese intruded into the Mengthong Valley and they shouted at the Indian troops, "This is not your land, this is not Indian territory, so just go back." An Indian lieutenant responded by punching a Chinese major nose. The incident developed into a brawl involving 150 soldiers, with the opposing sides throwing stones at one another. 7 Chinese and 4 Indian soldiers were reported to have been injured. Following the incident, the Indian Army withdrew from the front line. The Indian lieutenant that initiated the brawl, a spokesperson from the Indian Army Eastern Command, said that the matter had been resolved after dialogue and interaction at a local level, and that temporary and short duration face-offs between border guards do occur as boundaries are not resolved. Troops actually resolve such issues by using mutual established protocols. China did not share details about the incident and the Chinese Ministry of Defense did not comment on the incident. However, the foreign minister said that the China's soldier had always upheld peace and tranquility along the border. Eastern Ladakh. On 21st May, the Indian Express reported that China's troops had entered the Indian territory in the Galwan River Valley and objected to the road construction by India within the undisputed Indian territory. The road under construction is a branch of the Darbuk-Sayok DBO road which leads into the Galwan Valley. The report also stated that the Chinese pitched 70 to 80 tents in the area and then reinforced the area with troops, heavy vehicles and monitoring equipment. These all happened not very far from the Indian side. On 24 May, another report said that China's soldier invaded India at three different places: Hot Spring, Patrol Point 14 and Patrol Point 15. At each of these places, around 1,000 Chinese soldiers reportedly crossed the border and settled at a place and about 2 to 3 kilometers from the border. They also pitched tents and deployed heavy vehicles and monitoring equipment. The report added that India also deployed troops in the area and stations them 300 to 500 meters from the Chinese. According to the Indian defense analyst Ajay Shukla, China captured 60 kilometers, 23 square miles of Indian patrolling territory between May and June 2020. According to the Daily Telegraph, China captured 20 kilometers, 7.7 square mile of Indian patrolling territory in Galwan Valley. According to the Eurasian Times, the Chinas have a huge build-up, including military-style bunkers, new permanent structures, military trucks, and road building equipment. It quoted an Indian official who called it the most dangerous situation since 1962. An official quoted by the Hindu stated that the amounted to a change in the status quo which would never be accepted by India. On 30 May, the Business Standard reported that the thousands of Chinese soldiers were consolidating their positions and digging defense needed to nipple Indian attacks. They also reported that there were about 18 guns at Pangong Tasu and about 12 guns in the Galwan Valley, providing fire support for the Chinese. Indian troops had taken a position to block any further evidence advanced by the PLA toward the Darbuk-Sayok DBO road. The Global Times, which is owned by the Chinese government, blamed India for the standoffs and claimed that India had illegally constructed defense facilities across the border into China's territory in the Galwan Valley region. Long Xingchon, a senior research fellow at the Beijing Foreign Studies University, wrote that the border friction was an accident. India is definitely aware that the Galwan Valley region is in China's territory. On 26 May, China's leader Xi Jinping urged the military to prepare for the worst-case scenarios and to scale up battle preparedness. Furthermore, he said that COVID-19 pandemic had brought a profound change on the global landscape about China's security and development. On the same day, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi reviewed the current situation in Ladakh with the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and the Chief Defense Staff Bipin Rawat. On 27 May 2020, the Chinese ambassador to India as well as China's foreign minister spokesman stated that the overall situation was stable. However, news reported continued stating that the thousands of Chinese soldiers were removing into the disputed region in Ladakh. This move promoted India to deploy a civil infantry battalion from the provisional capital of Ladakh and some other units from the Kashmir. springs. China's infrastructure development in hot spring is mainly in and around Gogra. Trucks in satellites imagery suggested that PLA troops makes forays into Indian territory here. A road also connected this area to the Chinese habitat of Wangyong. Hot spring area is supposed to be rich in minerals such as gold. Galwan Valley skirmishes. On 15 June, Indian and Chinese troops clashes for 6 hours in a steep section of mountainous region in the Galwan Valley. The immediate cause of the incident is unknown, with the both sides releasing contradictory official statements in aftermath. Beijing said that India's troops had attacked Chinese troops first, while on 18 June the Hindus quoted a senior government official in the Ministry of the External Affairs of India who said that troops were ambushed. The statement said that this happened while they were patrolling a disputed area where Colonel Santosh Babu had destroyed a Chinese tent 2 days earlier with the demand with damaged rebels being released and builders being thrown by Chinese troops while soldiers carry firearms due to decades of tradition designing to reduce the possibilities of the escalation. Agreement disallowed urge of firearms, but the Chinese side is reported to possess iron rod and clubs. As a result, hand-to-hand combat broke out and the Indian called for reinforcement from a post about 2 miles away. Eventually, up to the 600 men were engaged in combat using stones, batons, iron rods, and other makeshift weapons. The fighting, which took place in near total darkness, lasted for up to 6 hours. According to the senior Indian military officer, China's troops used batons wrapped in barbed wire and clubs embedded with the nails. The fighting resulted in the death of 20 Indian soldiers of 16 Bihar Regiment, including its commanding officer Colonel Santosh Babu, while 3 Indian soldiers died on the spot. Others died on later due to the injuries and hypothermia. Most of the soldiers who were killed fell into their deaths after losing their footing or being pushed off the right ridge. The clash took place near the fast flowing Galwan River, and some soldiers from both sides fell into a revolute and were killed or injured. Bodies were later recovered from the Sayok River. Some Indian soldiers had also been momentarily taken captive. According to the Indian media source, the melee resulted in 43 Chinese casualties at a de-escalation meeting following the incident, and Chinese side accepted that China's commanding officer was also killed in the melee. The Chinese defense minister confirmed the existence of Chinese casualties but refused to share the number. Later on, when asked about an Indian ministry assertion about the number of Chinese casualties, China refused to comment. US intelligence reported concluded that 35 Chinese soldiers were killed. Indian media reported that 10 Indian soldiers were released from Chinese custody in 17 June, including 4 officers. Responding to the report, the Indian Army and the Chinese Foreign Minister have both denied that any Indian personnel was taken into the custody. On 16 June, Chinese Colonel Li Zhongshui, spokesperson for the PLA Western Command, said that the Indian military violated bilateral consensus. He further remarked that the sovereignty over the Galwan Valley area had always belonged to China. On 18 June, Indian Minister of External Affairs S. Jaishankar made a statement saying that the China had unilaterally tried to change the status quo and the claims over the Galwan Valley were exaggerated and untenable, saying the Chinese side premeditated and the planned action was behind the violence, and the China had made an attempt to erect a structure of Indian side of the LAC. The same day, the US Assistant Secretary of the State for East Asian and Pacific Affairs David Stilwell said that the Chinese PLA had invaded the contested areas between India and China on 19 June. However, Prime Minister Modi declared that neither have they introduced into our border, nor has any post been taken over by them. Contracting multiple previous statements by the Indian government, later the Prime Minister official clarified that Narendra Modi wanted to indicate the bravery of 16 Bihar regiment who had foiled the attempts of the Chinese side. On 22 June, U.S. News and World Report reported that U.S. intelligence agencies have assessed that the chief of China Western Theater Command had sanctioned the skirmishes in the aftermath of the incident at the Galwan, in which the Chinese used nail-spiked roads. The Indian Army decided to equip soldiers along the border with the lightweight not gear as well as spiked clubs. The Indian Air Force also started the process for emergency procurement of the 12 Sukhoi 30 MKI and 21 Makhaion MiG-29 from Russia. On 20 June, India removed restriction on usage of the firearms for Indian soldiers along the LACs. Satellites image analyzed by the Australian Strategic Policy Institute analysis shows that the Chinese have increased construction in the Galwan Valley since the 15 June skirmishes. The Chinese post that was destroyed by the Indian troops on 15 June was reconstructed by 22 June with an expansion in size and with the more military movement. Other new defense positions by both India and the Chinese forces have also been built in the Galwan Valley. Dipsang Plan. China's presence 18 km inside India's side of the LAC, 30 km southeast of the DSDBO road on the Y junction or bottleneck at the Dipsang Plan was reported by the Indian media on 25 June 2020, who described movements of troops, heavy vehicles and military equipment. The Chinese claims lines are 5 km further west of the bottleneck. Indian patrolling points 10, 11 and 11A, 12 have been blocked by PLA movements and construction at the bottleneck in Depsang. Analyst Parveen Swami responded, if the PLA moves additional troops to the Raki River, then PPP 13 is also cut off. China will have claimed more Indian territory. However, Indrani Bagchi, diplomatic editor for the Times of India, described the military build-up of the Chinese in and around Depsang are mere diversionary tactics. Ongoing construction of Indian infrastructure. Amid the standoff, India decided to move an additional 12,000 workers to border region to help complete Indian and road project. Around 8,000 workers would help border road organization BRO infrastructure project Vijayak in Ladakh, while some workers would also be allocated to other nearby border areas. The workers would reach Ladakh between 15 June and 5 July. Experts state that the development of the Indian infrastructure along the border was one of the cause for the standoffs. The first in train with our 1,600 workers left Jharkhand on 14 June 2020 for Udhampur, and from there the workers went on the assessed BRO at the Sino-Indian border. Apart from the completing the DSDBO road, the workers would also be assisting the BRO in the construction of the following roads: the Pobrang Masmakia Road, Masmakila Hot Spring Roads, Chisum Mili Demchok Road, Kayol Potail, Chizul Mili Surzar Road and the Hanley Hotel Road. Starting from June, the government announced up to 170% increase in the minimum wages for those working along the India-China border, with the highest increases in wages going to employees in Ladakh. Diplomatic response after the first melee took place on 5-6 May 2020 at Pangong. Tasso, Foreign Secretary of Indian Harsh Vidhan Sri Lanka, called Sun Weidong, the Chinese ambassador to India. Then Ajit Doval has reportedly talked to the CCP Politburo member Yang Chaichi, who is also a top diplomat under CCP General Secretary Xi Jinping. On 28 May, in the press conference, Indian spokesperson for the Ministry of External Affairs, Anurag Srivastava, maintained that there were enough bilateral mechanisms to solve border dispute diplomatically. These agreements encompasses 5 bilateral treaties between India and China to address border disputes. 1993 Agreement on the maintenance of peace and tranquility along the line of actual control in the Sino-Indian border. 1996 Agreement between the Government of the Republic of India and the Government of the People's Republic of China on confidence building measures in the military field along the line of actual control in the Sino-Indian border. 2005 Protocol on the modalities for the implementation of confidence building measures in the military field along the line of actual control in the Sino-Indian border. 2012 Establishment of working mechanism for consolidation and coordination on Sino-Indian border affairs. 2013 Border Defense Corporation Agreement between India and China. Additionally, there are other agreements related to the border questions, such as 2005 agreements on the political parameters and the guiding principles for the settlements of the India-China boundary questions. However, some critics say that the agreements are deeply flawed. The border personal meetings BPM points have seen rounds of the military talks in May-June, first between the colonels, then between brigadiers, and then finally on 2 June more than 3 rounds between the major general. All these talks were unsuccessful. Some Indian military sources said that India was still unclear with China's demands. When one wants to stall a process, one makes absurd demands. They purposefully made some unreasonable demands, said that source. On 6 June 2020, the Lieutenant General level talk took place between China and India in Chushal, Moldo. The talks involved the Indian commander of Ladakh Headquarters 14 Corps and the China's commander of the Tibet Military District South and South Xinjiang Military Region, Major General Liu Ling. Prior to talks on 6 June 2016 at Lieutenant General levels, the Global Times warned India. Following the Galwan clashes, China's flags and effigies of the paramount leader Xi Jinping were set afire in various places across India. Various groups registered their protest in different ways. The Global Times responded to these protests, saying that it is extremely dangerous for India to allow anti-China groups to steer public opinion. On 17 June 2020, Prime Minister Modi addressed the nation regarding the Galwan skirmishes, giving a firm message directed at China over the death of Indian soldiers. The first communication since the start of the border dispute between the Foreign Minister of China, Wang Yi, and India's S. Jaishankar also happened post Galwan skirmishes. S. Jaishankar accused the Chinese action in Galwan to be premeditated and planned. On 20 June, China's social media platform WeChat removed the Indian Prime Minister remarks on the Galwan skirmishes, which was uploaded by the Indian embassy in China. The official statement of the Ministry of External Affairs were also removed. WeChat said that it removed the speech and statements because they devalued in state secretary and endangered national security. The MEA spokesperson statement on the incident was also removed from Weibo. Following this, the Indian ambassador in China issued a clarification on its Weibo account that the post wasn't removed by them and republished a screenshot of the statement in Chinese. The second round of the commander meeting was on 22 June, and in an 11-hour meeting, the commander worked out a disengagement outline. On 24 June, the disengagement was diplomatically acknowledged by both sides during the virtual meeting of the Working Mechanism for Consultations and Coordination on China's India Border Affairs. China's spokesperson Zhong Lijian said that India has agreed to and withdraw its cross-border personnel in the Galwan Valley and dismantle the crossing facilities in accordance with China's request.